What is good, YouTube? Quinway coming to y'all with quick analysis again. We're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks again making more moves. They will give Trey Burke a 3-year, $10 million deal, which is basically signing him for nothing because that's really a small commitment for 3 years to pay that much money. And then you got the Mavs acquiring James Johnson from the Thunder, but also delon Wright will go to the Pistons, and the Thunder will also get Trevor Ariza, who I don't see staying on that roster, if I had to be honest. But when you look at it from the Mavericks' perspective, not only do they get another backup point guard, they get a guy that can create his own shot, knock down some mid range, knock down some spot up threes. His confidence been rising throughout the years as he has finally adjusted and adapted to the NBA level. And that's important because he was a guy that a lot of people thought could be a starter and possibly a franchise point guard coming out of college, and that didn't happen. But he understood that if he wanted to stay in the league, he was going to have to up his game. And he has done that throughout the years, and he has been able to stay in the NBA and be a rotational player, which is better than what he was becoming as he was getting ready to fly out of the league. So you got to give a lot of credit to Burke for reinventing himself, upgrading his jump shot, his confidence, and also trusting the process and grinding. And now he has a chance to stay in the league for 3 more years. Even if it's without the Mavericks, his money is guaranteed. Even though it ain't a lot, he still get to play his dream of being in the NBA. You also look at James Johnson. He was a guy that got moved around. I didn't really say much about it because I felt like he was going to get moved around again, and now he ends up on the Mavericks. I'm not a high James Johnson guy. I think he can play. He adds certain skills, but not really, to me, a high impact role player on this current team if they decide to keep him, because they already have a bunch of guys that can shoot and play multiple positions now after the draft and the trades they made in the draft. And I think losing Seth Curry don't hurt as bad when you add Trey Burke. He might not be the shooter of Curry, but he does have the aggressive mind and ability to create shots for himself, even in, some screen shots too. Not as good as Seth Curry, but the next best thing, and he's on the cheap contract too. You also look at the fact that they gave up on delon Wright, um, and they gave him to the Pistons. This one, I'm not really a big fan of because I like delon Wright. He showed that he is an NBA player, but I don't really see him being a huge impact player on the Pistons. He's better than what they've been having, but I still think like when you look at the future of the Pistons and the direction they're going in, they did get a good piece because he's not a terrible player. He is an NBA player, and he do bring something that they do need to a certain extent. But they still in that situation where they trying to get younger, get veterans, and still be a little bit competitive and try to build the best roster they can for what they're trying to do. And I'd rather them get something else than delon Wright. But he's a good player. I'm not really too happy about it, and I'm not really disappointed about it. You get a solid vet, and you didn't really give up much. And then obviously Trevor Ariza going to the Thunder. Not really crazy about that either because you already know that Trevor Ariza is going to be gone. Basically, I don't see him staying on the Thunder that long. And it's kind of crazy that he went from being a guy that sat out to now a guy that got moved around multiple times in a week. Like the week is not really technically even over, and he got moved again. But Trevor Ariza did get his money, so he don't have to worry about that. So he got paid, but we just don't know who he'd be playing for this season because if the Thunder don't trade him or waive him, he's I don't believe that he'd be playing for the Thunder, and if he do, he's not going to be happy because his team is going in a totally different direction than he's going in, and his money is guaranteed, so he should be fine. But expect Trevor Ariza to be on a different team, and I don't even know if you can say Trevor Ariza is a starter right now. Teams are trading for him salary cap wise. He is able to be moved around to fit other people to be able to make the trades work, but he declined a lot. Like I said, I'm not really high on Ariza right now. I feel like he still is a rotational player, but I don't really see Trevor Ariza being a starter on a good team or even a championship team. But he still should be in the NBA. And like I said, regardless of what I think, he is going to get picked up, and he did get paid because his contract is guaranteed. Even if he get waived, he's going to get paid majority of that money. So he'll be fine either way, is basically what I'm saying. Even if he don't play for the Thunder, he will eventually leave and go to a different team that wants him, and he still will be getting paid regardless. So check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Also, check out my spread shirt. You can buy merchandise just like this on my spread shirt or on my Facebook page. You can message me on Facebook, change the color of the shirt, change the color of the logo, change the logo to whatever you want it to be for the options I have available. Also, subscribe and liking and subscribing and sharing allows the channel to grow and reach more people. That's a small thing you guys can do to help the channel grow. But not only that, I'll be back with more analysis coming up. But the Mavericks are doing good.